I leaned back in my chair, swirling the coffee cup between my palms. The cafe around us hummed with soft music and laughter. The golden evening light, filtering through the window and catching strands of her hair. I'd been teasing her all afternoon, and she'd been effortlessly dodging my jokes with that same calm confidence that made her impossible to read. Welcome to my channel, subscribe and share. So, I said, smirking, will you come meet my parents with me? It was meant to be a throwaway line, a light jab, a way to see that adorable blush she sometimes tried to hide. But instead she smiled. Not shyly, not nervously, but like someone who already knew the ending to a story I hadn't even started. They already like me, she said. Her voice was soft, almost playful, but there was something behind it, something that sent a small chill down my spine. I blinked, trying to laugh it off. Wait, what do you mean they already like you? She only sipped her coffee, eyes twinkling above the rim of the cup. No explanation, no giggle. Just that smile, the kind that sits between a secret and a promise. For a moment, the noise of the cafe faded, the clinking cups, the low chatter, the music. It was like the world had paused, waiting for me to figure it out. I tried to study her face, the way her eyes lingered on me like she'd known me far longer than a few weeks. My joke had become something else entirely, and I didn't even understand how. I laughed awkwardly, pretending not to care, but the thought lingered like a whisper in the back of my mind. They already like me. It wasn't a joke. It was a statement, and from the look in her eyes, I had the strange feeling she was telling the truth. The air in my parents' dining room was warm and filled with the smell of baked chicken and rosemary. The table was set with care, my mother's favorite china, my father's old wooden serving bowls, and a vase of lilies right in the center. I could tell Mom had gone overboard again, the way she always did when I brought someone special home. She was all smiles when she opened the door to greet us, but the moment her eyes landed on her, something shifted. Mom froze for half a second, her expression flickering between surprise and recognition. "Oh my, you're Emma's daughter." Her voice cracked slightly. The girl beside me, the one who'd told me my parents already liked her, simply smiled. "Yes, ma'am. I grew up hearing stories about you and Mr. Khan." My father, who had been setting out the drinks, stopped mid-step and looked up. "Wait, Emma's daughter?" he repeated, as if saying it would help him process the sudden flood of memory. I stood there, caught between confusion and disbelief, watching as my mother covered her mouth with both hands. "I can't believe it," she whispered. "Your mother and I, we were inseparable in college." My date nodded softly. "She used to tell me about your late-night talks, how you'd both dream about your future families. She said if life ever brought us together again, it would be for a reason." There was a silence, heavy but not awkward, a silence filled with memories and ghosts of laughter long gone. My mother reached out and took her hand, tears glistening in her eyes. "Your mom was one of the best people I ever knew," she said gently. "I wish she could see this moment." My father cleared his throat and smiled faintly. "Well," he said, "I think she'd be proud." Dinner went on, but the mood had changed. Every laugh, every shared story, felt like a thread being woven back into something that had once been broken. And as I watched my parents light up with warmth and nostalgia, talking about the woman I'd never met, but who clearly still lived in their hearts, I realized what she'd meant that day in the cafe. When she said they already like me, she wasn't being clever. She was telling the truth. Long before I ever knew her, long before our paths crossed, she was already a part of my family's story.